Hello there. I'm currently in Minsk, Belarus, and I'm right in the city centre. I'm going to take you for a bit of walk and talk about some of the pros and cons of living in a country like Belarus, specifically living in Minsk at this time. How it's like living here. I guess the good things and the bad things as well. And I'll turn you around. I won't force you to look at my beautiful head. I'll turn you around and let you guys witness the streets as they are. So I'll talk about just whatever comes to me randomly, good, bad, indifferent. I think one of my favourite things, it'll be a bit rainy today. One of my favourite things about Minsk is the cafe culture. I really appreciate this. Let me just adjust our zoom here, folks. There we go, so we can actually see what's going on. Cafe culture, man. Like people say, for example, my city, Melbourne, right, has a coffee culture. We think, oh yeah, we love our coffee. But we have a coffee culture, not a cafe culture. Yeah. Whereas here, they have a cafe culture. The cafes are homely. The cafes are somewhere to go and to hang out. And they're nicer than your house, right? Whereas most of the time in a country like Australia, you're really just grabbing a coffee on the way through, or it's more of an eating restaurant kind of thing. Of course, we have Starbucks and so forth still in a country like Australia, and people will set up in a Starbucks and work for the day. But here, you can also work in a normal cafe. And as I say, it's got that homeliness, homely feeling, good quality coffee. Can vary from place to place, but you get to know the places, and as I say, very homely, very comfortable. As I walk past, you can probably guess that one, Mac BY, of course, the artist formerly known as McDonald's. You guys want to have a look in there? I can quickly show you. It's exactly the same as it was pre what I'll call the current situation. I'll just quickly, as I'm walking past, I've been here like twice in my life. Let's have a bit of a squizzy, shall we? Just for your own point of reference. See, it's exactly the same as it was before. Usual payment terminals, blah blah. Everyone waiting. Absolutely shockers. So that. Alright, mum taking the young fella with some Maccas. Should I say some Mac BYs? Alright, so I'm currently at the corner of Nezavizi and Lenina, and I often start filming or conclude filming in this area because it's kind of the centre. Alright, let's walk down Lenina here. It's the most foot traffic as well. We can bump into a few cafes. There are a few along here. So yeah, one thing I like about Minsk, Belarus is the cafe culture. And as I say, it's a cafe culture plus a coffee culture. So this is very good. And especially during the winter, because during the winter, man, like shit, it's pretty grim here. Like summer's fucking awesome. There's so much to do, it's so busy, the weather's beautiful, there's so many options, but in the winter you just kind of bunker down and survive and hibernate like a bear. This is life in this kind of climate. So the cafes become a vocal point of activity, although in saying that they're busier in the summer, yeah, but for someone like me anyway, and a lot of other foreigners, we don't really want to be necessarily at home all the time, so the cafes just give that nice, comfy, cozy kind of vibe, you know. They're all pretty similar, to be honest. Well, they look different, but you know, the coffee menu's the same. They sell the similar food, croissants and a few desserts and whatever. But yeah, it's deeply embedded in the culture, which I think is a really positive thing. A really positive thing. Another positive thing, and this is especially versus Russia, is the quality of the fresh produce is probably on average a good bit higher. And fresh food is a bit more attainable here. You can still get it in Russia, don't get me wrong, but it's just a little bit easier to get your hands on here in Belarus, in my opinion. So this is useful, be able to eat healthily, but the lack of restaurants, the lack of meaningful international restaurants. It's changing, and people tell me, 10 years ago there was nothing, just stolovayas. In fact, a buddy of mine showed me a photo of up just a bit further. I'll show you. It's on the corner of Namiga and Lenina, above the KFC there, and it actually had Stolovaya written. Now it's a Coffee's, which is a coffee franchise chain here. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to stop this because it's really dark on my phone because I started the filming inside. So I'm going to stop it and start again. Give me a sec. Alright, now I can see what's going on. My phone screen was very dark, now it's very light, so we're good to go. And he showed me a photo of it. I'm not sure when the photo was, but it's pre-me being here, and it was a Stolovaya in this key spot, and that's kind of how it feels in Russia sometimes. You can get a lot more Stolovayas sprinkled around in Russia than you do in Belarus. More prominently, on average, I would say. Stolovaya, sorry, I just assume you know what that means. Stolovaya, well, the translation is dining room. It just means basically a Soviet-era restaurant. That's probably what you'd call it, Soviet-era restaurant. Usually for workers, often for workers, not exclusively workers, or even students. We call it the same in my university here. We call it Stolovayas for short. So yeah, 10 years ago, that's kind of all they had. And look, they have, McDonald's, Burger King, KFC. I'm not sure why on earth you'd want to come to Minsk and eat that shit. But, the options of eating are definitely increasing. This one's going to go red, let's go this way. The options for eating are definitely increasing. But if that was a criticism, I think it's a valid one. But at the same time, how many restaurants do you need? The number of Chinese restaurants is increasing. The number of Chinese is increasing, because everyone's like, if you're a Westerner, which you probably are, from the Anglosphere in particular, you're like, oh, I'm too scared to come to Belarus, politica. But in reality, everyone else is here, mate. So you've got lots of Chinese, lots of Arabs, Turks, Africans. Everyone's just really flooding in, especially the last 12 months. The number of Chinese has really increased. And on the back of that, of course, is their infrastructure. Which basically is code word for lots of Chinese restaurants. There's quite a few Vietnamese restaurants. Missed it. But this is what you're going to get. Perfectly timed. Draniki, yeah? Draniki. Look at that bad boy. So yeah, you get these kind of Belarusian restaurants. Belarusian food's quite tasty. It'll give you a heart attack. But it's quite tasty, pretty heavy. It's good, hearty, oily kind of food. Vasilki is definitely a famous local restaurant chain that's around here, for sure and certain. But yeah, look, the offer is increasing, but you get off at a metro stop, and there'll be 2 to 6 different restaurants and 1 to 4 different cafes or whatever. It's kind of what you get. Oh, here's my buddy. I'll stop and say hello to him. I'm probably going to hang up on you guys. I'm going to say hello to this guy. He's my friend, Wayne. Alright, so it's about an hour later. I just ended up sitting down and having a coffee with my buddy there. Haven't seen him for, oh goodness, a month or 2. It's funny, I'm working on a project at the moment in my own time, so I don't get out that much. Well, I do a little bit, just a normal amount. So I've kind of let a lot of my friendships kind of be neglected, I guess. My kind of semi-friendships, semi-acquaintances, because like when you're an older guy, or when you're older anybody, it takes a while to bond with people, you know what I mean? Like you probably need to hang out at least, because he was my classmate back in the day, you probably got to hang out at least 5-6 times, don't you, to kind of get a sense you have enough in common, common enough mentality, or whatever to hang out. But I really like that guy, but language is a bit of a barrier. We've got to speak Russian together. He's a French guy, I'm obviously English speaking. Radno Yazik, по-английски, конечно. So, but it's funny, I hadn't spoken Russian properly. Like, obviously you speak it here and there, just small talk and just dealing with administrative stuff. That's the first time I had to speak Russian properly for like a good hour for, God, it'd be a few weeks, I reckon. And it's amazing how once it starts to flow, it just comes back to you. You just remember almost everything. It's crazy. You feel like you've forgotten everything. It's like, fuck, man, I don't remember a single word. And once you start needing those words, they just come to you. The human brain, my friends, is an amazing thing. So I don't even remember the topic of the video, to be honest. Oh yeah, pros and cons, wasn't it? Pros and cons. And I actually said to you guys that you often, I'm pretty sure I just said that, because I just did a video before this one as well. So what I'm going to do here is be strategic. See how it's red? So if you cross there, it's technically breaking the law, and you've got police over there. I don't give a shit, to be honest. But there is a small chance they do. So what you do is you go on here, and you can just walk. Just in case they want to be cunts. They're generally not, to be honest. Like, I know the Western media really wants to portray the government here and the state here and the police here or the militia here as demonic and oppressive, and it's just a load of bullshit, really. For the most part, again, unless you're trying to overthrow the government, of course, that's a different matter. But, you know, generally, they're very accountable, these guys. Generally speaking, yeah, generally speaking. Certain events maybe otherwise, but generally speaking, they're quite accountable, and they really follow up too. If you have a problem, you need police, they do tend to follow up and actually do their jobs, which doesn't happen in every country. Where are we? Pros and cons. That's a really good example of just how it's kind of small. Minsk, like it's big, but it's small, and you just bump into people. Like, it's really hard to get around too much and not bump into people you know. Especially if you're in the city centre here. That's this is where the foot traffic is, right? Like, the whole of Minsk doesn't look like this, by the way. I'm just letting you know. This is just kind of Lenina, Nezavizi Marksa, they say Namiga. This is obviously headed up to, this is really getting touristy now. This is like the heart of expat tourist land. Namiga heading up to Galleria. It's really headed up. So my friend was just saying he was playing paddle today. Paddle has just taken over, mate. And Belarus is really good with these kind of new things. They're really on song with coolness. You know, if there's something going on in the world, some new fad or something, these guys are on it, man. They're really on it. So you don't kind of miss out here. It's quite cool in that sense. Minsk and Belarus, they're a lot more interested in what the rest of the world are doing than, for example, their northern neighbours. This girl's busy filming something. She might have a YouTube channel as well. So pro is you kind of bump into your friends a lot, bump into people a lot. Здравствуйте. You kind of bump into your friends a lot, and you can just go and get coffees. So there's a coffees here. Several more little cafes down here. I'll show you a few of them. Actually, I'll take you in a few of my favourites. That's what I'll do for the next 10 minutes. I'll take you into some of my more favourites. Just along this strip. I don't come to this area that much, to be honest. I'm pretty integrated in the normal world. But I do come down here from time to time. And as I say, there's lots of kind of homely cafes around, although it's a bit more fast commercial turnover kind of thing, right? Around this area. So this is what I was talking about before, by the way. When my friend sent me this, a photo of this. So I don't even know what this is. I probably should. Famous Soviets or whatever. It's quite iconic view here. So this Coffee's, which again is a franchise coffee store, it's actually, look, it's kind of a cheap and nasty student place, but it's actually pretty cool. They have good seasonal menus. But that used to be a Stolovaya. My friend sent me a photo of Belarus, and that was a Stolovaya. Whereas now it's been replaced by this, and obviously KFC. And of course back over there, Burger King. So you can kind of see what's going on, right? That was pretty funny. That lady who was filming, and I just made a joke, she's probably a YouTuber, not even thinking about it, I wasn't even paying attention. And then she just kind of stared and smiled at me for a prolonged period of time. That's why I said hello to her about 3 minutes ago. And she just said hello back. I don't know if you'd seen the video, but then her boyfriend was approximately 5 meters away. She kept looking over. Alright, I'm going to take you up here. So, I'll just try not to run into people here. I'm trying to walk around people, but people are really considerate here about getting in the way when you're filming. So people will kind of stand and wait for you to go past. It's quite a considerate mentality in that regard here. So you end up both letting each other go, then no one goes. It's obviously Domino's. I'm sure you can... that's basically English, isn't it? It's only the I and the Oh, actually the I, N and S are different, but you get the idea from the logo. This is one of my cafes I go to quite a bit here. If you're around, come in here sometimes. Kex Cafe. I'll do you a quick film inside without being too creepy about it. It's a nice little, very Belarusian kind of place. Kind of homely. Kind of how it is. Pretty typical offer of food and drink. One of my places I go to from time to time. I'll keep walking up. I'll show you a few more just while I'm here. As I say, this is going to be pros and cons, and as I say, one of the pros is all the cafes, man. I just had a coffee then with my buddy, and I'll sit down now. On my other hand, I have a briefcase with my laptop in it, and I'll go do some data analysis for a few hours. So I actually really like this coffee that's coming up. So if you guys, look, if you've been here, this is like walking down, yeah. This is like being in New York and going to fucking, what's it called? On 42nd Street with all the lights everywhere. I can't remember the name of it. Oh my goodness. It'll come to me. Where all the Broadway plays are. It's 42nd, 43rd Street. I can't even remember it. Times Square. Oh my God, it's embarrassing. It's like going to New York and filming in Times Square, right? That's what walking along here is. It's like the ultimate touristy kind of spot. And what you'll probably see around at the moment too is a lot of tourists, not just when I say tourists, I'm going to mean expats, blow-ins, whatever. But there'll also be some tourists around as well, some Russian tourists probably, a few Chinese. They just changed the visa protocol for Europeans crossing the border from Lithuania as well. So you'll probably get a few more European tourists floating around, but not a lot still. So I'll just wander down. So this Coffee's here. Can you imagine another Coffee's? And there was one right behind the other one. There's like 3 within 200 meters. There's another one and another 100 meters up. There's like 4 in 400 meters. Coffee's is crazy. But this one, I actually really like it because it's really nice and well lit inside. And it's somewhere I can go and I can see my laptop really clearly if I want to work. And everyone kind of knows where it is. Next to the Alpha Bank here, showing the building, joint tenancy almost. You got to walk through you can walk through the Coffee's to get to the Alpha Bank. I'll just show you while I'm here. I like the interactive format, walking in and out of places. I think it's quite nice. Let's just walk in and I'll show you. You can also be outside here as well, as you can see. That's kind of walking down. If you don't know the place, that's kind of walking down in the Mega Metro. You can see the trailer people down there on the other side. Walking down in the Mega Metro on the red line, crossing over here and ultimately going up to Galleria. But I'll just quickly show you in here. Just because it's a nice kind of, what's he got? Usual Coffee's offer, and you can see Alpha Bank shut. Usually you can walk through there and go to Alpha Bank. So it's hot and stuffy today, but you see nice and lit. And plenty of natural light. You don't get a lot of floor-to-ceiling windows here, obviously because of old designs, but also just the cost of heating. Just the insulation is a real issue when you have these kind of floor-to-ceiling windows. Anyway, I'll just keep walking down just because this is a popular area. Lots of interesting sights and fashion and this bloke. Wow. So I'll just wander down for a couple more minutes. And I'll probably go back. Actually, it was too stuffy in there, that Coffee's. I might go to the Tiri. There's a Tiri here. Oh, yeah. Something's going on. There's actually another... Actually, I might even just set up here. Let me think. So I've got to go 2 metro stops the other way within about 3 hours. So in about 2 hours to kind of sit around and study. Oh, here's something. There's a kebab store. I've never even seen this before or noticed it. So I talk about... this is about pros and cons. This ended up being a bit of a general chit-chat. If you look, just once we get past here, over there's an ice skating rink. This is what I mean, kind of... I was just saying this then to my French friend was saying to me, should I say, that how the youth here kind of have this obsession, not all of them, but a proportion of them, have this obsession with fucking off. And that the world in Europe is so much better than here, and it's a little shithole, blah, blah. And it's just not true. I mean, they haven't maybe got the resources that a foreigner would have to do everything they want to do all the time, but it's all here. You know what I mean? It's all here. Anything you want to do is here. It's the same kind of life. You just need the funds to pay for it, right? That's the thing. So you can, instead of doing something every second day, but in saying that, when you're in an Anglo city, just because of the logistics of it all, you tend to stay at home most nights. Just the logistics of getting around, whereas here logistics are much better in a more European-style city such as Minsk. All right, pros and cons, man. I'm getting off topic really badly. Let me do some more on topic. Let me think of some bad things about Belarus. Oh, what gives me the shits about Belarus? Let me think. Look, to be honest, in the summer, nothing. In the summer, absolutely nothing. But what I've noticed is that with the winters, I mean, they're not that bad, fucking grow up hair really, but what I noticed in the winter is that if your life's perfect in every way, you don't care too much that it's cold, you know what I mean? But if, you know, some things are sucking in your life, for example, the bad weather kind of exaggerates that, you know what I mean? It multiplies that effect, you know? It's kind of what I've noticed. And it does kind of just drag. But it's funny, that deprivation that you have during the winter time when you kind of just stay home and everyone's mood goes down. Man, people's mood in the winter is fucking savage. Let me think if I'm going to go in here and maybe... What is working here, I think? I'll go out to the other Coffix. Sometimes the Coffix weather's a bit unpredictable. This is hardcore tourists here. This is like as tourists as you get. This is where all the Arabic sex fests and sex tourists, just saying that really quietly, you know what I'm saying? This is where they all hang out. This is this place here, Golden Apple, you can see it, Złote Jabłko. This is like the most, sorry, I'm trying to plot my path, carry my bag and film at the same time. Only got two hands unfortunately, but this is like possibly the most popular shop in Belarus. You can't even imagine what a girl or who she would kill to purchase something from here. It's super famous, super popular, and super expensive. I remember buying some deodorant. I was trying to find this aluminium-free deodorant, and I just looked in here once, and I saw that it was about double the price of the normal supermarket. And it's like, Jesus, settle down. So this place is a gold mine for the owners, and I guess a gold mine for the girls. They're getting what they want from it as well. So this is a kind of more upmarket shopping centre, but pretty common. There's probably 3 or 4 of this level in Minsk. Tiri, this is a very famous I don't know if it's a franchise or a chain, but they're super popular. They're actually very cheap, unusually cheap, but actually kind of good quality. Whereas Coffix and Hotfix, oh man, they're good, but they're a bit rough, you know what I mean? Like, they're a bit rough, to be fair. Whereas Tiri is quite nice. It certainly has a nicer ambience. I'm kind of tempted to set up there. There was another cafe up here as well. Let me just check how empty or full it is. If it's empty, I might sit in there and work. If it's full, I'll walk somewhere else and take you guys with me. Pros and cons, yeah. So the cons, I think that weather, man. Honestly, the weather and just the effect it has on everybody's mood, your mood, everyone else's mood. The whole of Minsk just throws this massive fucking pity party for about 4 months, and just, I mean, it's the same everywhere to some extent. You know, I could go in here. I may even go to that place that I pointed out to you guys, because I kind of don't want to be seen. That's the problem. Like, as much as I really enjoyed catching up with my friend there, he's a really good guy. I really like him, but also I need to work, so I have now an hour less work that I wanted to do. So I don't want to sit there because there's a good chance that someone else will spot me. This is the nature of things, but yeah, I have come to the most kind of busiest area. The busiest, or the most busiest. You become much more aware of your own grammar when you're switching languages all the time. So yeah, pros and cons. I think in that winter time, Everyone becomes more closed. Everyone's kind of miserable. Attitudes go down. People just stop doing anything, man. Like if you come here, I don't even know this place, right? If you come here in the winter, I guarantee that outdoor area is not there. They put these outdoor areas just for the summer, and then inside, outside is busy. But then you come here in the winter, the whole thing's fucking empty. Everyone just stays at home, man. Everyone just stays the fuck at home for about 4 or 5 months, man. It's really, really a cheetah girl's fashion. See the fingernails there mixed with the hair and the leggings. You get a lot of very edgy fashion here. Image here is super, super important for a lot of girls in particular, but also guys, girls more so. Really fine-tuning their outfits in a way that you couldn't quite even imagine. How far? Well, you can see it, right? This is how it is. You want to walk around, this is what you're going to see. This is it. This is behind the Iron Curtain. So yeah, that 4 or 5 months sucks, man. Like, if I was going to be a perpetual kind of, non-family man, non-stable man, nomad man, if that was my life goal, and I wanted to spend a lot of time here, which I kind of don't, to be honest, but just say, for example, in the premiere, then I definitely would fuck off from here in November and probably come back in March. And that's what guys do, yeah? I noticed heaps of guys that weren't here in December, and then all of a sudden, March, April, you're back again. What's happening, mate? So I can see that, those kind of drifter guys that kind of have specific motivations for being here in other particular countries. I see they time it with the weather a lot. And you have to. But it's funny, because in the summer, as I say, Minsk is pumping, man, in the summer. Fuck, it's a good place to be. But everyone also pisses off. Like, these European cities like here just empty out in a way, but also fill up in a way. Oh, is that nice for tea? So they're screaming, in case you didn't hear that, from the stretch Hummer. I can guarantee you, for them to be doing that in a place like Belarus, Belarusians have very good etiquette, yeah? Very good social etiquette. You'll notice no one yells, no one screams, no one does anything. If someone's really fucking drunk, they still just shut the fuck up, for the most part. So this super powerful concept of social etiquette. So for them to be yelling at the side of a stretch Hummer like that, they either have to be absolutely fucking shit-faced, or they're Russians. They're the two variants, right? The two options. There's no word option in Russian, it's only variant. So if you say option or variation, you just use variant. Alright, pros and cons, man. I've really just got into a bit of a chatty mood. It's like I'm doing a live stream, just kind of chatting, shooting this shit. Pros and cons, yeah, that's enough of that game. Yeah, I think the pros, definitely, cafe is a good one. Con, definitely the way people bunker down for the winter and the way you might want to as well. Lack of extensive international restaurants. But as I say, when people say, oh, it's boring in Minsk, it's like, fuck, mate, what do you want? Like, just actually tell me, what do you want? Like, it's here, mate. Whatever you want's here. There's a gazillion fucking of everything. But yeah, definitely by a lot of international city standards, definitely less of these restaurants, interesting restaurants. You get some Italian ones, you get some a lot of Georgian ones here as well. Oh man, these pigeons are killing me. I know you guys are checking out this girl, you fucking perverts, you sick fuckers. Really, I'm disgusted, fucking disgusted. So yeah, that is one good thing. You do get some places you wouldn't have tried before. Like, for example, Georgia. I've never had Georgian food before coming here, and then I went to Georgia later. But yeah, Georgian food, a few other types as well. So there's some upside to it too, but yeah, it does get a bit monotonous, the offer, in terms of restaurants. But it's changing all the time. This place changes quickly. Part of that being a fashionable, edgy kind of mentality, an image-driven mentality, is that cafes and restaurants are changing badges all the time. It's hard to make money here, man. In terms of restaurants and cafes, it's hard, dude. Like cafes, fuck, man. Most people I know have gone into the cafe business have done their ass. Not everyone, but even the successful ones haven't made that much. You know, doing the time, effort, and whatever else. Like, it's more of a status symbol here, is what I've been told. More of a status symbol thing to have your own cafe, to kind of show off to your friends and go hang out in the cafe that you own or whatever. This is what I've heard. That was just one person's comment to me. I don't know if it's entirely true. Probably an element of truth to it, because I can see that the vast majority of cafes, including that one I just walked you in before, are not making a profit, right? Absolutely, are not making a profit. And that could even be with the owner working in there as well. All right, so I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'm going to pick a cafe to do some work in. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Turned into a bit of a general chit-chat around the more popular parts. If you're a tourist or an expat in the expat bubble, you'll know this street extremely well. So hopefully you can reminisce. I know a lot of you guys are not here and you're reminiscing. It's one of my avatar viewers reminiscing about your trips to Minsk. Maybe you live overseas now and you're actually from Belarus and you like to watch the videos. I see you get different avatars of watchers. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Today's obviously beautiful summer's day. I don't know when I'll release this video. I'm doing a bit of a backlog at the moment while it's nice and warm and sunny out. I think it's August. Yes, I think it's the 10th of August, around there, 9th of August, one of these. 11th. I don't know what the date is. I don't really care. 2024. So getting kind of towards the end of summer, but not quite. Still really comfortable. The first day I have to put long pants on again is a truly sad day, my friends. All right, let me know what you think. Tell me what you think. Give me some video ideas. What do you want to know about? Ciao, everybody.